Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Story number 1. Jungle Heat, written by who do you think? Day 1. I've been in this damn jungle for 2 hours, and it's already trying to kill me. My legs got caught under a root, and I nearly fell into some mud that I probably would have drowned in. I'm soaked through. I guess we're expected to fight a war out here. But to me it seems more like we're fighting the jungle and trying to outlast the enemy. Hopefully my gun is operational. I'd hate to die to one of those bastards because of perpetual muck if this hellhole jammed my rifle. Day 5. I haven't been able to write for several days. I had the time and all, but my notebook was wet. I wasted about 5 pages when I tried to write without checking if it was dry. I tore through a good portion of the notebook with my pen. Still, no sign of the enemy. I've got slightly better at traversing the terrain, but it's still difficult. I'd kill to be able to take a shower and dry off. My clothes are now soaked with mud. By the way, the heat is oppressive, 35 degrees Celsius. Day and night, thanks to the humidity. I can't see more than 3 meters in front of me because of the foliage. Day 15. There they are. Somewhere, they're here. I can hear them creeping through the jungle. They're stealthy, all right, but there's something different about the way they sound as compared to some animal. It just sounds sinister. I haven't slept in 25 hours. Day 23. The feckers are laughing. They're laughing at me. I know it. They're sitting out there just like I am, but the sick feckers like it. The insects are starting to get really loud. I can't hear the enemy creeping around anymore. Me and the boys have been sleeping in shifts. I just want to get out of here. Day 34. Little John's dead. Bastards slit his throat in the middle of the night. They also took the last of the nicotine rations. We won't be having our psychoactive drugs, I guess. Maybe it's for the better. They're getting bolder. Even the insects can't make them now, but we can still seem to kill one of the feckers. They'll holler in the night, or howl, or scream. It all sounds so predatory. We were supposed to be rotated out by now, but our replacements are pinned down. Apparently total air superiority doesn't mean jack shit. Yeah. Day 47. First they killed Chondradrell, now they killed Hemdnek. From the tracks we found, they caught him away from his gun and chased him into the stinking pit of mud. We couldn't recover his body. As commanding officer, I decided to activate our thermal protection system and call for incendiary strikes. The jungle burned, all right, but there was nothing there. The goddamn ghosts. Day 50. With our patrol zone a smoldering heap of charcoal, commanders pulled us out. I got a cold shower and a can of Zimpact beans. The barracks don't block out the sound of the insects in this god-forsaken place, so I still can't sleep. The airfield has begun launching heavies with full escorts every day to flatten as much of the jungle as we can. But I'm not too hopeful. Day 56. They attacked today. The crazy bastards attacked in a rotary airfoil craft and some ridiculously slow fixed-wing aircraft. It's amazing that they still use aerolift vehicles. They came in blasting some ungodly noise and completely wrecked the runway with some chemical explosives. After they destroyed that and the fuel depot, they started going after things of lesser value, like the latrines. By the end, they were gunning down anything that moved, flattening buildings and making us run for ditches. Then they landed and some combat troops came out. They hunted us. I was lucky to make it off base quickly, but there weren't many of us left. The base is burned to the ground. Day 81. I've been alone in the jungle since the attack. The only reason I know there's a war going on is the constant bombing. I'm getting used to the jungle. At least out here, I can hide. I've been hunting a bit, and I am glad I grabbed a copy of the botany guide as I fled the base. Half the stuff here is toxic. Day 97. I fell into one of their tunnels today. They captured me pretty quickly, but decided to let me live when I surrendered my weapons. They gave me some food, which my botany guide says is rice. It's not bad, The bombing is getting more intensive, and at this point, it's my own side that's mostly likely to kill me. Day 113. I always laugh. Shoot a soldier of the Empire in the head, might as well have a good old joke about the Bellin beast crossing the Transway. They're mad. They relish killing us almost as much as we relish living. There are 4 million Imperial soldiers on this planet. I'd be surprised if 50,000 made it out alive. The bombing is even more intense, but it doesn't affect them at all. Day 126. Command thinks more bombs will solve the problem. They're out of their goddamn minds. As long as we are where they think we don't belong, they'll be popping out from behind every bush, stalking us in the dead of night, and killing us when we sleep takes hold. And they'll laugh. They'll always laugh. Gotta run from their laughter. Transcript of a journal kept by Lieutenant Jechnik of the Senfield Imperial Army, found with his body near a prisoner of war camp in Terminal 4, a human colony world contested in the Human-Senford War. End of story. Story number 2. Acting Like Children, written by Heart Storytime. Bartending is the same everywhere you go. Well, maybe not everywhere. Bartending on a trade station, God knows how many light years from Seoul, certainly had its unique moments. Nothing too serious, of course, like I said. It's the same everywhere you go, except here in my bar. Sometimes the drunken fools getting into it are 7 feet tall, or have tentacles. Sometimes I miss the Pacific Northwest. But who could pass up a chance to come up here? Could do my same job, only anywhere in this arm of the galaxy. Make twice the money as wage and still roll in tips for all the novelty of being a human. The fact that I didn't water down the drinks and served any species just kept me in a steady supply of regulars. Well, aren't you a fat feck? I bet they just gave you all the honey cakes. I recognized that voice, looking over to see my favorite drunken sub of a human stumbling out of his stool had to stand at a full 5'9" against the 7-foot Ursa Maxim, another regular, just getting in from a shift over at the security office. I made my way over quickly to pour his favorite beer and slide it to him. Too late to refill my friend's drink before the argument began to heat up. I could rip you to shreds and wouldn't even crack a claw, you little pink shit. Sit down before you hurt yourself. I looked from one to the other. How about a round of me, boys? Let's let it go and just enjoy our drinks. I know you just got off work, friend. They gave each other a dirty eye as they grabbed their respective drinks. I moved to the center of the bar and pretended to shine a glass, keeping an eye on them both. I really hoped that they'd have sat more than 2 stools away from one another. The Ursa guzzled his beer and began to stare at the human. I knew what that look meant. Another round? I was ignored. You must have big balls to mess with an Ursa Maxim, little human. You want to fight about it? He knocked over the glass sitting in front of the human. My hand went under the bar and crossed the pump-action shotgun hidden behind the sink. Maybe not as flashy as the las guns being sold here on station, but it's hard to beat a little touch of home. I watched, ready to act, if things got out of hand. The human laughed. What a fire about it. You sound like a little kid. How about we settle this like children? Like children? A deep-throated growl emanated from Ursa. The human put his hands in his jacket pockets, and I tightened my grip of the hard wooden stock. This was about to happen, and I didn't know how to defuse it. He took a swing at the human, easily dodged before the human hand came out of his pocket, flinging a handful of something at his opponent's face, kicking the Ursa in the nads at the same time as bringing his fist up, meeting the Ursa's jaw as it came down with him. Majestic Lord, you hit like a lumber transport, the Ursa, rubbing his jaw still on the floor. I racked the shotgun as the human approached his fallen foe. He glanced at me before holding out his hand. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to. I really hope we can be friends. Maybe you can tell me how I hurt your feelings so it doesn't happen again. The Ursa looks at the human with a moment of confusion, and then mirth. A growl started deep within Ursa's throat before becoming louder, a bright, boasting laugh. School moms are the same every corner of the galaxy, it seems. I'm sorry, too. I'm a little sensitive about my weight. How about you buy me a drink while making me look like an arsehole in that fight? They both chuckled as I put the gun back where it belonged and poured both their drinks, shaking my head. Bartending is always the same, but out here, it had unique little moments. End of story. The algorithm reckons you should be watching this video next, and I recommend that you should be always watching my video. So, click with energy! And yes, clicking that does help the channel. Thank you very much. I just want to give a quick thanks to the Tier 5 patrons and channel members. Alithia, Barky, Fudic Yol, Cam Maxwell, Caspar Arnholtz, White Band 420, Lord Asrakal, Arcadian, and Oakfield.